Hey there, in today's video, I'm going to review this, the Icebug NewRun Men's BUGrip GTX. I'm making this video because in preparing to run the Polar Night Marathon in Tromsø, Norway in January 2025, a race that's run on the road in icy and snowy conditions, I wanted to buy a shoe with ice spikes. I considered the VJs from Finland, the Nordas from Canada, but I settled on this, the Icebug from Sweden. As always, this video might be long. There are chapter markers down below, so you could skip on through to the bits you might be interested in. Let's get going. The winter here in Dublin, Ireland has been very benign. My testing was very limited in advance. I ran a couple of 100 yards on sand just to get an overall feel of the shoe, the upper more or less. Then I ran in Tromsø a little bit before the marathon and walked around the town. But yeah, very little testing apart from, well, running a marathon on icy roads, uphill and downhill. Yeah, a sort of marathon test, as it will. And yeah, let's put the shoe on the turntable and look at its specifications. Icebug say that the shoe weighs 330 grams, 11.64 ounces. This shoe is a US men's 13, EU 47, UK 12, JP 31. In this size, it weighs in the left shoe 439 grams, 15.49 ounces, and in the right shoe 437 grams, 15.41 ounces. Icebug say it has a 40mm stack and a 7mm drop. Icebug say this about the NewRun BUGrip GTX. Comfort has been our focus during the development of NewRun. Therefore, it was natural for this shoe's upper to have a waterproof Gore-Tex membrane and to be equipped with the BOA Fit system, ensuring the shoe adapts to the foot and stays in place throughout your session. The well-cushioned shoe has a wide base providing stability and comfort during longer runs. The outsole has 17 BUGrip studs made of carbide steel, ensuring your winter runs on icy surfaces feel as secure as a fall run in the park. Let's review the shoe and see if what Icebug says is true. In terms of the upper, well, the outer of the upper is Gore-Tex, a waterproof layer. The inner, according to Icebug, is made of something called Oecotex 100 certified liner. And there's a TPU mudguard wrap. The shoe is also available without Gore-Tex, but with the Gore-Tex comes the BOA system, and more of that in a minute. As you can imagine with a Gore-Tex shoe, there isn't a huge amount of ventilation. Usually I would stick in a light and you can see the porosity, but obviously with a Gore-Tex shoe, you don't want water coming in. There is some ability to let some moisture out, but effectively, yeah, if you were to look inside this shoe, it's one big dark cavern. In terms of the toe box, what Icebug say is that they've created a roomy toe box. I certainly found that to be the case. That's what I wanted. I wanted to be able to splay my feet, particularly on downhill sections. That was something I was really looking for. It's exactly what I got. In terms of the tongue, it's nicely padded, which is helpful because the wires in the BOA are very thin, and if you didn't have a reasonably padded tongue, you could get a little bit of abrasion, I would have thought. But they felt great. The reason I wanted a BOA was so that in cold weather, I didn't really want to be tying gloves in cold weather. That's what or tying laces with gloves. That's what I didn't want to do, or have to take gloves off and then have my hands exposed. I didn't want to do that. These were perfect. All I did was twist them once into a position that I wanted, and I didn't have to adjust them at all on the go. A side benefit of the BOA system, and I had been wanting to get a BOA system for a long time in a shoe. The side benefit, which I hadn't realized, was that when I was walking in and around Tromsø, I was going in and out of shops or in and out of the hotel, it made the shoe super easy to put on and take off when you didn't want to be walking indoors with spikes. The midsole is firm. It's not as foamy as many other compounds. I don't suppose you would expect it to be. It's certainly not as soft as an Alphafly. It's an EVA compound with 20% bloom foam made with algae harvested from waterways with dense algae growth. That's according to Icebug. The outsole, there are great lugs for grip and traction. And of course, the 17 carbide steel pins that effectively go into the ice. This is not a light shoe, nor would I expect it to be. Icebug say it weighs 330 grams or 11.64 ounces. In this UK 12, it weighs 437 grams, 15.41 ounces. Not my heaviest shoe by any stretch of the imagination, but not lightweight is what I would expect. I mean, there's a lot of metal down below, and the BOA system adds 30 grams or 1.06 ounces over and above what the non-Gore-Tex version weighs. Icebug have a great website full of lots of useful information about the shoes. They go into exhaustive detail about where all of the materials come from, how the process works. It really is, I think it's one of the websites that all manufacturers should produce this level of information. The one thing they don't put on the website is the stack height. Now, when I contacted them, they said it was 40 mil. It doesn't feel like a 40 millimeter shoe. Perhaps it's misleading, depends how it's measured. It's certainly not a high stack shoe. Let's call it that. Maybe the tips of the carbide steel have some effect on that, but it's not a high stack shoe. And it's interesting, if you look at the shoe when it's balanced on the turntable, it's raised up at the back and at the front, but in its natural condition, running on snow, on the ice, it feels really good and really secure in the turns. It doesn't feel, you don't get that sort of high stack wobble whatsoever. I like the design of the shoe. It's somewhat old school, somewhat simple, nothing unduly strange going on. I said I appreciated the reflectivity, which I really do. The colorways are very simply named. This is black and grass. There's black and poison. Can't say I fancy that much. There's mist blue and fire orange. I'm sort of on the fence about those. But in the non-Gore-Tex version, there is black and apricot. Really did like that as a colorway. And there are a couple of different variations in the women's colors. The black and grass, there is still the black and grass, but there are a couple of other different colorways that they have. There's black and jade mist, I think is one of them. And then the mist blue is with aqua. But yeah, they all sell out really quick, and you do need to be prepared to, for me, it was get any color I can. But yeah, I was quite happy with these. In terms of sustainability, Icebug are the best shoe company I've come across by a long way. There's a lot of information on the website. I'm not going to go through it all here. I do wish everybody did the same level and there was no greenwashing. It is really good. They ship the shoes not by air to Scandinavia. I think they make them, or from wherever they distribute them in Europe. They go by ship. I think from then on, who knows, down to the courier company. But effectively, that means that there's a long lead-in time to getting these shoes. Not from them sending them to you, but I waited several months before they became available in my size, and I was really anxious to get them. But to give you one example, this is, I'm going to lift up they come in a paper, but the box comes inside in a paper bag. There is no excess size. There's another pair of shoes over there that are out today. The box is that size, by about that deep. It is huge. This is lovely, simple, nice paper bag with a cardboard box. Oh, it's all recyclable. There's a cardboard box inside that holds the shoes, but yeah, and it's tight in all the shoes. But as a sustainable, just go on their website and read it. Yeah, they chapeau to them for all of the detailed information and the credentials in the shoe. These were the simplest shoes to put on. You just slip your feet in, push in the boas, twist, and you're good to go. They're also super easy to take off. You just pop them out, and they're fantastic. And yeah, I did really appreciate the toe box wriggle in these particular shoes. I enjoyed running in these shoes. They are on the firm side. At the end of the marathon, initially I went out and it was snow and ice was on roads, and I was looking for where there was a little bit of combination of ice but a little bit of snow above, so that I got the carbide steel going into the ice, and then I got the lugs going to snow. That was ideal and really comfortable. Towards the end of the race, I could feel in the forefoot that my feet were feeling it. It is a marathon after all, but I did feel it in my forefeet, but that was really only when I came into Tromsø itself, and there was very little snow. So it was mainly just on ice. No dampness came in. It wasn't a snowy day. What I mean by that was there had been snow, there was snow all around, but it wasn't snowing at the time. So no snow sort of was coming through around your ankles and popping in. If that was the case, you can get Icebug gaiters. But yeah, in terms of the right, look, it was great. I picked these again without any issue. I bought these shoes for their grip and traction. and it was superb. I'm a 61-year-old novice, cold weather or ice weather runner, and I was really afraid of slipping. That was my number one worry in the marathon. I did not slip once. The combination of the lugs and the carbide steel was simply stunning. At some point in the marathon we were going uphill, another point in time we were going downhill at speed. As I was running along later on, I saw somebody who was out for a casual run, and they had those sort of yak tracks or some sort of over shoe or over spikes that you could put over shoes, and they had come astray on their shoe and they were trying to adjust them. That's exactly what I didn't want to happen, and it didn't happen. Yeah, grip and traction, super, absolutely super. In terms of the predicted wear, well, I was shocked when I came back from the marathon and got the shoes out of the luggage. When I came back, there was zero wear and tear. There's nothing that I can see was. I thought the carbide steel might wear down in some respect, didn't. You know, the shoes have all these sort of little grains that happen. There's absolutely zero wear on these shoes. Bulletproof. I think these are going to last a very long time. And again, going back to the sustainability principles, it really is an extraordinary shoe. One of the things I thought might wear would be the BOA laces, but I actually went onto the BOA website yesterday just to check it out, and they do have replacement kits if that was ever to happen. But yeah, this is, I mean, it's bulletproof. In terms of the cost and the buying experience, they cost €229.95, $229.95, or £219.99. Most of the countries in Europe are listed, and then just the US and the UK. So I'm not sure about other countries. I bought them direct from Icebug. As I said, I did wait to when they were in stock. I contacted them several times. They do have an interesting thing on their website. They show a price history of what happens in the last 30 days. And some of the sizes are discounted on some of the shoes. But certainly in this particular one, I did find, and I thought, to be honest, I was quite happy to pay €230 not to slip. I do that all over again. The buying experience was really simple. I mean, you go onto the website and so much stuff is so well explained, and I just had to wait until they came in my size, and then yeah. The use case for these shoes is really simple. Icy road running. That is what Icebug designed them for, and no ice, well, no need. Should you buy the Icebug NewRun BUGrip GTX? Well, I was deeply impressed by this shoe. I don't think I've been as impressed by a shoe in terms of why I bought a shoe and what I got out of it. These were, yeah, fantastic. If I was faster and more experienced, perhaps on running on ice and trying to set a personal best, I would try something different. But for what I was trying to do and the conditions, to run a marathon in a shoe without slipping, without it having any wear and tear, well, yeah, 10 out of 10 for these. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it useful. If you did, it would be great if you would hit the like button. As always, there'll be lots of stuff in the description below, and I'll happily answer any questions you put into comments. There'll be a big blue subscribe button popping up there, and some more videos there. Thanks for watching. Till the next video, just keep running along.